I'm still doing some work on the MiniArt Armoured Lorry here and there. I've started painting up the areas where basically won't be seen underneath and that, and also the interior. It's easier to paint this up in sections and then I can weather it and then glue it in, because then it's going to be awkward to get at. It's just for ease of getting at. So I've painted in the I've hand painted the seat as with the fire extinguisher and the horn. I've painted up, this is one of the rear wheels, and the front wheel I've painted the tyre colour up. I've got to paint the hubs yet. The colour I'm using is one of the call outs in the paint call outs is XF75, which is actually Imperial Japanese Navy grey, but I mean, when you're going back World War One and colours might be a bit hard to match or find, and I'll just say it's good enough for me. It looks like the colour of the on the picture of the call out on the floor for the driver's passengers floor area, and the tray in the back. I've sprayed some different colours, timber colours, a few different colours, and just random sprayed it. Put a clear gloss coat over that. Then I sprayed this over the top of that, which is another, it's it's worn effects, but it's just like chipping fluid, same as their chipping fluid. I don't see the difference, but works the same for me anyway. And then I sprayed the grey down, and then with some water, and I used a soft brush just to cut. I got an old, no, it wasn't that one, it was maybe it was, that was that one. It's an old brush that I've cut down, so it's not extremely stiff, but it's stiffer than what it was when it was normal length. It was pretty soft, so it's sort of an in-between. And I just wet the floor and just rubbed it back to where you're happy with. So I'm pretty happy with that, how that came out. I'm also happy with the leather seat. So I used leather, obviously, leather brown, but I lightened it with some buff to get a different shade in it. So once I've just glued in all the steering wheel, horn, and the fire extinguisher, once that's set properly, I can start weathering the interior. Then once I glue that in, then I can put the tray on the back, and I can glue all the grab handles and rails that go on that. I don't want to glue them on yet because I don't want to break them off, but it's been, I'm not going to lie, this is a pretty fiddly kit to build, with mainly all this, which isn't seen. A lot of tiny parts, and there's a lot of flash on parts that to clean up, as well as sprue gates onto them. There's like your long, even like these skinny parts, they got heaps of sprue gates on them, so it's a lot of cleanup, and you got to be careful you don't snap them, which I'm amazed so far I haven't. But having passed that stage where I'm at now, I'm really enjoying it now, doing all this effects with the timber and getting the paint down. Alright, I started weathering up inside the cab area. So for the wash, I'm using an enamel wash, AK's neutral grey. If you can see it on the firewall there, it's darker than my paint, so that's doing the job. So once that was on, and I knocked it back with some odorless thinner, white spirit. I think I also used this one. I think they both work the same to me anyway. I don't know if they're different makeup or what, but so once the grey wash was down and dry, I got some which one? This one. So this is like a heavy mud. It's from MIG. It's really thick. So what I did, I put some I'm going to clean that up. That's why it's so. I put a heap of spirits in to clean it up. But I put some in there, added a bit of white spirit, and dabbed it on with a brush into the floor. And then I got a bit of white spirit and just thinned it out and spread it around as to how I wanted it. So I've added it on the where their legs would rub up against. So it's part of the floor. And then when I was happy with that, I got some pigment, dark earth, with a brush, an old brush, and I just kept dabbing it in, mixing it in until I'm happy with how much I had on there. So I'm going to let that dry off properly, and then I'll see how it looks, and I can readjust things if I'm not happy with it.